The global stage has never seen anything like it. Two groups from a small country on the Korean peninsula now dominate stadiums, charts, fashion houses, and headlines across continents. BTS and Blackpink aren't just pop acts anymore, they're cultural titans. But behind all the flashing lights and record-breaking numbers lies a rivalry that fans have obsessed over for years. Who really holds the crown? BTS began as the ultimate underdog story. Back in 2013, they debuted under Big Hit Entertainment, a company that wasn't even considered a contender in the industry. 7 young men, each with distinct personalities and skills, came together with a dream that seemed impossible: to tell their story through music. They weren't polished products of a giant agency, they were scrappy, raw, and hungry. While the industry was dominated by established giants, BTS clawed their way into the spotlight by singing about youth struggles, mental health, and the fight for dreams. They were relatable in a way K-pop hadn't seen before, and slowly, that relatability transformed into loyalty. Fans, who later became known as ARMY, didn't just watch them grow, they built the group's empire alongside them. 3 years later, another storm hit, but this one didn't start from the bottom. In 2016, Blackpink launched under YG Entertainment, already one of the biggest powerhouses in K-pop. But even with the backing of a major label, they weren't content to play by the rules. Instead of the typical cute and bubbly girl group formula, they came out fierce, edgy, and unapologetic. Their debut singles exploded, and suddenly the industry had a girl group that wasn't asking for approval, they were demanding attention. Each member embodied something iconic: Jennie's chic rap dominance, Lisa's razor-sharp dance skills, Rose's haunting vocals, and Jisoo's elegant charisma. Together they created a formula that felt both untouchable and magnetic. When you compare their rise, the differences are striking. BTS built their empire from the ground up, convincing the world that even underdogs could rewrite history. Blackpink walked into the room already glowing with star power, and turned that glow into a wildfire that consumed not only music but fashion, luxury brands, and global culture. One group represented persistence and authenticity. The other embodied trend-setting dominance and aspirational glamour. The milestones tell their own story. BTS stormed into Western markets in ways no one thought possible. They weren't just performing on late-night shows, they were taking center stage at the Grammys. They weren't just idols, they were global ambassadors, standing at the UN and addressing youth worldwide. Collaborations with legends like Coldplay proved they could match artistry at the highest level, all while keeping their unique sound intact. Meanwhile, Blackpink made the Coachella stage their playground, delivering a performance so explosive that it silenced any doubt about girl groups competing on the biggest stages. Their Netflix documentary pulled back the curtain, proving they were more than polished visuals. They were relentless workers with a vision for domination. Collaborations with Lady Gaga, Selena Gomez, Dua Lipa, and Cardi B blurred the lines between East and West, making Blackpink a staple not only in playlists but in global pop culture. They didn't just join the game, they redrew the boundaries, but music is only one part of this battle. Fandom power has become the real battlefield. BTS's army is one of the most organized, passionate, and influential fan bases on Earth. They sell out stadiums in minutes, crash voting systems during award seasons, and trend hashtags daily. To witness ARMY in action is to witness the largest grassroots movement in music history. On the other side, Blinks may be fewer in numbers, but their influence is undeniable. Where ARMY dominates stadiums, Blinks dominate the digital fashion landscape. Blackpink's every move, whether it's a comeback teaser, a selfie, or a magazine cover, shakes the internet. They've managed to turn fandom loyalty into mainstream trendsetting, from TikTok challenges to Instagram aesthetics. The clash isn't just about who sells more albums, it's about who shapes culture in the bigger picture. BTS redefined what it means to be global youth icons. They spoke about social issues, mental health, and resilience in ways that cut across languages and borders. Blackpink became the face of luxury, merging K-pop with Paris Fashion Week and front-row exclusivity. Jennie with Chanel, Lisa with Celine and Bulgari, Jisoo with Dior, Rosé with Saint Laurent. Each member became a one-woman empire, expanding the group's dominance far beyond music. And then there are the numbers. BTS boasts Billboard #1s, sold-out world tours, and stadiums echoing with tens of thousands chanting in Korean. They were the first to reach milestones once thought impossible for non-English acts. Blackpink shattered YouTube records, crossed billions of views with ease, and skyrocketed on Instagram. When you compare their followers, the gap between them is razor thin. BTS with around 31.6 million, and Blackpink at 30.5 million. That kind of catch-up speed is almost unheard of in global entertainment. But here's where things get interesting. While fans lock horns over who's bigger today, the real question might be, who will survive tomorrow? BTS faces looming challenges like mandatory military service, which temporarily pulls members away from the spotlight. Blackpink battles speculation about contract renewals, solo projects, and whether the group will continue its global reign as a unit. The future is uncertain, and that's what keeps the debate alive. Right now, it's impossible to crown a single winner. BTS built the foundation that turned K-pop from a regional sensation into a global movement. Blackpink expanded that foundation, proving that female idols could dominate not just music charts, but luxury industries and Western collaborations. Together, they've created a cultural wave so massive that no other groups have even come close. The kings and queens of K-pop don't exist in separate castles. They rule side by side, reshaping the industry in real time. The real legacy may not be who sold more records or trended longer online. It may be that both groups, through their different styles, stories, and strategies, prove to the world that K-pop isn't just entertainment, it's history in the making. And while fans continue to fight over who takes the crown, maybe the bigger story is this. The throne itself has changed. BTS and Blackpink don't just sit on top of K-pop. They've built an empire where the genre is no longer foreign, but global. The only question left is who will carry the torch into the next decade. Will it be the 7 men who turned struggle into strength? Or the 4 women who turned confidence into a global brand? Maybe it's both. Maybe the story isn't finished yet. So, what do you think? Are you waving the ARMY banner, screaming for the blinks, or just here for the ride? Drop your take in the comments, smash that like button if you're proud to witness this cultural moment, and hit subscribe for more deep dives into the stories shaping global music. The world may never agree on who wears the crown, but one thing is clear. BTS and Blackpink aren't just names anymore, they're legends.